Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session, Program Management with MS Project Server and Matan MasterLink. Our speaker is Irit, who leads the Project Management Division in Matan Consulting, managing a broad engineering team. Irit brings 15 years of experience in project management and is highly knowledgeable and experienced in her field. Irit, take it away.
Thank you. So first, thank you for the sponsors of this beautiful Project Virtual Conference, which I'm very much enjoy to be part of. Let me tell you a little bit about Matan Consulting. We're going to celebrate 20 years in a few weeks. We're Microsoft partners since 2002. And we bring services to our customers that are based on methodology and training, but also about project server implementation and PMO services. We have a development team right here in Matan that develop PPM solutions such as MasterLink, which I'm going to talk about today, but also server bulk editor and also health check and critical chain add-ons that you can find in our websites. A little bit about myself. As I was introduced, I'm the head of the Project Management Consulting Division. I have 15 years of hands-on experience, both as project and program manager and as a consultant in this area. And my passion is about touching people, is about helping project managers and their team to achieve their business goals using my experience and Matan Toolbox. And I find it very, very interesting job. And I'm really happy to share with you this part of our toolbox that might be useful for you, your project, or your teams. Okay, so the title for this presentation is Multi-Project Made Simple by using Matan MasterLink. And I want to discuss a little bit about the challenge. So the challenge is actually managing large-scale projects. Large scale meaning that you have many stakeholders spread over different teams, sometimes even in different locations. You have cross-team dependencies, meaning software, hardware integration, lots of dependencies between the teams within the project. When you manage many projects, then you get that changes in one project might affect other project plans, and you as a project manager will need to know it on time to make sure that you're on track. And of course, you have the stakeholders. Stakeholders might be from the inside or from the outside, and you need to give them answers. You need to let them know exactly where your project is and manage to communicate it within your team and outside. So when we talk with our customers, we find out that there are actually 3 different scenarios where Matan MasterLink might be helpful. 3 different scenarios that we have dependencies between projects, okay, that is used in Project Server as one big project, maybe sometimes with master projects. And as you can see with MasterLink, in a different and new way of approach. So the first one is the most trivial one for large scale projects. We call it program management, where you have like a pyramid scheme where you have your results or your product at the top of the pyramid. That's what the customer would like to get at the end. But you develop it in different projects that has relation between them. Sometimes you have subcontractors, and all the products or all the milestones goes up to the top of the pyramid and to the program management top, and then to the customer. The second scenario is a matrix-based organization. It does not have to be a program. That you have teams works for different projects. You have relations between the teams, between the projects. Sometimes you have subcontractors that gives you more milestones from the outside, and you need to manage the relations. You need to manage the connection between the teams and between the projects. And the third scenario is cross-project integrations. Many organizations work in different projects that have relations, that one project is relying on outcomes of other projects. It does not have to be under the same umbrella like in program management. It does not have to have the same last milestone or even the same product, okay? But you have connections between the projects, you have sometimes different customers, and again, you'll have subcontractors from outside your organization. So, MasterLink, what it is all about. So, it's an enhancement to Microsoft Project Server. It's an add-on, okay, that allows you to monitor and control multiple projects. Its main purpose is to monitor and control, okay, and bring it up for different stakeholders. You get a clear and immediate overview of the program. And of course, since it's based on Microsoft Project Server, it maximizes the capabilities to manage programs. It takes the in-house project server capabilities and get them to work for the project manager, but not in the traditional way that Microsoft allows you to link between projects, but in a different way, okay? It's an easy installation and configuration. Basically, it's a next setup. And of course, we provide guidance and some tutorials to help you go through this process. MasterLink was recognized as PPM Microsoft Annual Award in 2012, and we are very honored to have this award and, of course, to sell this product around the world. The challenge, as we discuss it with many of our clients, is to think big and act small. What do I mean by that? Well, when you look at the Standish Group research, you find out that many of the large projects fail, or at least being challenged, and challenge in these politically correct terms is over budget, over time, and under scope. But when you look at small projects, you get highly percentage of successful projects and much less challenge and failed projects. So the idea was to take the big project and divide it into small pieces, and therefore support the project structure and processes. Break down the master project into smaller ones, okay? And then only manage the integration. Because if you look at the work package, if you look at the scope of a project divided through the WBS, okay, then you can manage each piece as if it was a project closed on itself. You need to define the link, of course, and then you have to manage the integration by managing the agreements, which are the links between those work packages. You can monitor changes. Of course, you can maintain traceability because we have a view of reports that allows you to track and to view all the information that you need. And you can have consolidated reports allowing you as a program manager or as a project of many projects to see the consolidated report, to see a collaboration of all the data and have it all in one place using this add-on. So I've talked a lot, and now it's time to see how does it look. So as I said, it's an add-on to the project server, and therefore it's seamlessly into the ribbon. Okay, we have a MasterLink ribbon that allows you to have all the functionality inside your client desktop project professional link to the server. And we have the views that allows you to monitor using out of the box, of course, but predefined fields that will allow you to monitor and control. I will, of course, demo the tool in a minute. Okay, just hang on. The highlights, which I'm going to make sure that is going through here, is instead of linking, we have agreements. Instead of links between tasks, as it's being done out of the box in Project Server, we're using agreements as the boundaries of the link between the projects. So you open a form which is called New Agreement, and you decide the type of the link, you decide the project that is linked to, and of course the task that is linked to, and then you could have a top-down planning or a bottom-up planning using a special link that we've created, which is called work package link. Okay, this is a unique one. I'm going to show you in a minute. The performance, as we measure in our many clients, is much better than out-of-the-box connections and master project original work, since we are using the approach of getting straight to the database. So you do not have to open many files at the same time, and you do not have to have all of them open in order to get the data refreshed. So if you have a change in one project, it will affect the other project as soon as they will open it. So the database will be refreshed, and you don't have to have them open at the same time. So I was talking about type of links, and in the MasterLink, we have Microsoft Project standard links, such as finish to start, finish, of course. We have the work package link, which I'm going to introduce in a second. And we have a new innovation by Matan, which is linked to deadline. A deadline is used in a project to help us to monitor and control. And we usually use deadlines in contractual links, such as with our client or with our subcontractors. Therefore, we are not interested in the finish date of the task, but the deadline of the task, because we believe that if you have a contract, then you'll meet the deadline. Extended connections mean that we allow cross-instances relations, which is not able using Microsoft Project Standard out-of-the-box connections. Okay, so you have cross-instances, which is very useful for customers that have large-scale and different places, different instances used to define between scopes or between organizational stuffs. And we also allow you to use external project plans. So you could share projects files with your subcontractors and have them send you over their new and updated project plan, and you could just insert them into the project server. The MasterLink will be still alive and working. So the linking process, as I said before, is using the agreement. We are using the same tasks and milestone that we are using in the project file. Okay, and you could either connect or export work package. I'll show you in a minute. Ownership. Okay, you could only link files that you have access to them in the way that allows you to read or to write files. Okay, and changes will only occur if you accept them. Okay, you cannot have changes if you are not accepted, and therefore you will have much more control over your projects. Okay. So just a small animation on how it works. Okay, so again, think big, act small. We are taking a work package, okay, from project A to project D, where the project manager of the D will break it into small tasks. What will happen then is that the summary task will go up to project A, and then he could see the difference between his planning and the actual work being done in project D. Okay, if there is a change, he can accept it and move his project to align with project G. Of course, all this process does not replace the actual status meeting, okay, but it really helps you to enhance integration, okay, and to have full control and easy monitoring about your project details. Okay. So now I'm going to move to the demo, and I'll open it right now. Okay. So So it's an add-on. So it will be part of the project. You see here, it's the MasterLink. And we have all this button, okay, that will allow you all the possibilities that I will show you in a minute. We have a view that is unique to the MasterLink, is part of the installation. Okay, it's the MasterLink View that will give you the MasterLink status and, of course, the way of the connection, whether it's a give or a get, whether you are predecessor or successor to this task. Okay, so I'm going to demo the program scenario. Okay, so I have a demo for MasterLink software plan, which is a program high level. Okay, you see I have a few tasks. Some of them are already linked, but I'm going to start from the beginning. Okay, and I'll have a connection. So to create a new connection, I'm standing on the task that I want to connect, and I'll pick the links. That will open me the bottom pane, okay? And then I'll have the add a new link. As I said before, it will open a new agreement. The agreement is between me, project owner, the program manager, and the other project. So I'll have to choose which type of link I want to use, okay? This time, because I'm starting from the program, I want to use a work package. The work package, and since I'm working on a one instance, I don't have to choose, but that's the way I'm going to choose instances. And now I have to choose the project that I want to connect with. We have text filters that will allow us to easily find the project that I want to link to. Okay, so I want to link to software development. Okay, and I can also see here the last time it was saved, in order for me to be sure that this project that I'm going to connect to is actually aligned and is updated. So picking the project will open the tasks that under this project. Of course, again, if I don't have permission to read this file, I won't see here anything. Okay, so it depends on the permission level. And now I want to find out to which task I want to connect it. Since this is a work package connection, I'll check development. Okay, that's the second task here. And you see, I can also use the lag as same as out-of-the-box connection. Checking OK, will add this connection to the bottom pane, where I can see that I have a new link, and I'll need to accept it. The reason that we're doing it that way is because some of our customers are allowing PMO to do the connections, but only the program managers to accept it. Okay, so they have this process of working. But if you are both making the connection and approving it, so you just accept it. Okay, so by accepting, I've connected it to a task that is from another project. And I can see that this was my plan, but the green light here is from the other project plan, where I can go and see it, but only after I'll publish it. Okay, publishing will allow the database to be refreshed, and then I could read it from other projects. So it was published successfully, and I want to go to the other projects. Since we are in a demo, I opened it previously, but if you stand on the connection itself and you press the open, it will be opened from the server, okay? Because you do not have to have all the files open in order to have those connections, in order to have the relations between the project. That will allow the other project manager to work without being interrupted, okay? As soon as they will reopen their file, they will see the connection, okay? And when you refresh the database, you'll see the link itself. So I'm going to open that project. You see, it opens for me at the same task that I connected to. It was the development, task number 2. And I'll refresh in order to see the link. Okay, you see? So I've got this blue dot here, which tells me this task has the relation of give. Okay, it's a predecessor to the master project for the program manager. Okay, and if I'll change here something, it will immediately be shown in the other project. Let me show you. Okay, so the develop code here is for 30 days. Okay, and if I'll raise it up to 50 days, of course, it's changed. Okay, the summary task here to 88 days. Okay, I'll publish here. And we go back to the first one, to the MasterLink software plan. Of course, after the publish is completed, because it goes through the database. So I'll go back to that one, and I don't see anything, right? Why? Because I need to refresh it. So refreshing the data will bring me this light bulb indicating that something was changed. Something was changed, and I can check what have changed. Okay, so it does not influence immediately as in project out of the box. And what I have to do now is to see what have been changed. Okay, so the finish date has been changed. It's being highlighted here, now here, and I can accept. Accepting it, okay, will push my project in the same amount of days. You see, the duration have been changed, and I can also roll back. Okay, I can say no, it does not work for me as a program manager. I cannot allow this change to be made in my program, and I can open a discussion. Okay, let's say, let's meet, for example. Okay, change is not acceptable. And as soon as I edit, it will allow me to use timestamp. Okay, and then have this discussion saved for what we call the next generations, or for the lesson learned of this project. So I have full control whether my program will be changed because of the links. Okay, I can find out as a what-if scenario, if I accept it, what will happen to my project, and I can roll back to have it not changed. Okay, so this is one way to have a work package link. The other way is being done from what we call top down. Okay, so I'm going to stand on the pilot task. It's number 8, and instead of adding a link, I will export a program work package. It's done in the same way. Okay, it's an agreement, and I have to choose: is the destination file will get dates from this file, or the other way around? Okay, I'm going to check that one because I want my program to be influenced from the other projects. I want their changes to influence on my schedule, and I'll check that one. And again, I can filter to find out the program that I want to use. Okay, so I'll check a different project now. And now, in order to find a task that I want to have the link created for, I can use either text filters, or I can use other ways to filter. For example, we have some customers that allow to link only to tasks that was not finished by now, or only to tasks that have a certain flag, or only to tasks that are milestones. In that way, they communicate between the teams, okay, and allow a certain way of working. It's a process. It has to be defined in advance, but it's really easily to assimilate in this matter. So I'm going to pick that one. Okay, I want to have it connected to the pilot, and I'll say OK. And you see, I have a different connection now. I have a MasterLink Status, which indicates that I took a work package from this program and like throw it in another project. I moved it from this project to the other one. Okay, it still is not happening because I have to accept the link and I have to publish. And now I'm going to go as the other project manager of software implementation. And when I open that file and refresh it, I'm going to get this announcement telling me that a work package link was exported to this project. Okay. And I say, okay. It brings me down here, and I have a new task that was inserted into my project. What I can do now as this project manager, I can open tasks that will reflect the work being done under this work package. Okay, I have them with duration, of course, and maybe some I don't know, some logic that will move them to the future. Okay, I'm going to link them. Okay, so now I have this task that is a work package from the project that is called MasterLink Software Plan. I accept the link as a project manager. And of course, as I said before, your PMO can do it for you. It's a process, it's an organizational process that each team has to decide for itself. And when I'll publish this file, and I'll go over to my program file, to my master file, I will see the change, okay, from a task that was in my program in one place, where I definitely want to find out what happened here. Okay, so it was task number 8, and I will refresh it. The refresh button is actually calling the data from the database. Okay, and now that's the change. Okay, I can see that there has been a change. I'll accept it, and this will be my new program. Okay, so when I'm entering a file as a project or a program manager, I can easily see what has changed and what is the status. I can see, as in ordinary project file, I'm using all the tools to have my view organized. Okay, I can see the details. You can see I have them both, the MasterLink pane and the details pane. I can have myself all the links that I need, and then I can run my program as I wanted. Now I want to show you some more options, some more enhancements of these tools. Okay, so we have the MasterLink Summary, which allows you as a project manager to see in one place all the changes and all the links. And of course, you only need to address those changes and not the unchanged, because what was unchanged is usually something that you don't want to have your attention to it. So I'm going to look at this one. It will bring me easily to the task that is highlighted. I can get it as in a get or a give, because I want to make sure that I understand my program, and I really want to know whether I'm influencing or am I being influenced, and I want to monitor the through that window. Okay, so that's the MasterLink Summary, which is a client side, and we also have a website, which is the reports. So in order to use the reports, you do not have to use the project professional. Okay, you could use and see them through the PWA, to the project web access. You could assimilate them into the project site, or whether whatever SharePoint structure you are using. So we have 3 basic reports. We have the critical path that will allow you to see the critical path, but not only in the project, but in the program view, which in the out-of-the-box tool, you can only use if you are using a master project, which is sometimes too big to see the whole picture. We have the give and get report, which will allow you to display report for whether you are giving or getting and the status for each task. And we have trend analysis, which I'll show you in a minute. Let me get back to my presentation for the files, for the reports. Second. Okay. So this is the give and get report. As I said, it's a PWA report that is being used as part of the project site or whatever SharePoint you're using. Some of our customers do not hold project sites, but they have a report site where each one of the stakeholders, usually the management stakeholders, can get and read the reports. And of course, most of the managers, the high-level managers, will not be interested in going around the project professional, and it's very easy to use using the PWA. So what we see here is for each project, okay, the give and the get, and you see the corresponding activity, the corresponding task, and you can see also the graphical indicators. It's very helpful when you're using it in integration meeting or status meeting, and you only focused on those that was changed. We have customers that, for example, by Thursday evening, all the task has to be approved, or else on the next morning, the discussion will be only on those that was not approved. So you have like five, maybe 10 tasks that was not approved, and all the others are aligned, and you can see the full pictures of what needs to be discussed in this status meeting. The next report is a critical path, and it's through the program, and it works that you choose the project that you are interested in and the task that you want to see, and you get a critical path to the task that you are standing on, and it brings you all the data from all the projects that are aligned in this program. Okay, so you can see what actually influences your critical path from all the projects that are linked in your program. The third one is a trend analysis, and that's a very helpful tool in order for you to see that you have an influence task that every month is changing by a month. Okay, so it's very easy to monitor and to see what tasks influences the task you are choosing to look at, and have it monitor in a very graphical and highlighted way. It's really a strong tool when you're working with subcontractors where you don't see their day-to-day activities, but mainly their milestones. So it's a very powerful tool if you're using this way of working. Well, the MasterLink Summary I showed you on live. And we find it very helpful to see all the things in one place. It helps managers to be focused. MasterLink is scalable. I've been asked if it depends on the number of projects or the number of tasks. Of course, my demo was very minimized because otherwise it will take a longer time to publish. But MasterLink, from our experience, work with large-scale projects with over hundreds and more of tasks, and with dozens of links between projects and cross-links projects. And it saves a lot of time of opening and issuing and publishing project files, because we go straight to the database. We don't need to open all the files. When you change, when you're using out-of-the-box relations between projects or using master projects, it will take you sometimes few minutes just to refresh or maybe insert a new task, and it will not happen to you using MasterLink because we go straight to the database. We don't open the actual files to see the data itself. So, as I said before, MasterLink it goes seamless integration and it gives you full control using reports, using indicators, using the visual consolidated Gantt chart that you are already using out of the project, just we enhance it. And we have an extra, it's a new feature that's called export program. Sometimes you want to see all the program in one place. You do not want to divide it into pieces. So we use export program, which is a tool that takes all the links and all the agreements and replace them with out-of-the-box connections. And then you have one big project file that you could send to your customers, that you could use some what-if scenarios outside of the server, okay? And you could assess the impacts and you could share it with people that are outside of your server. We have clients that needs to deliver to the sponsor, okay? Which is, it's not the customer, but it's the sponsor, and the sponsor does not have the implementation of the server. They do not have the implementation of MasterLink. And in order for them to be happy, they just send them the export program file, and they could have their own assessments. They can have their own what-if scenarios, and then send back the results. It allows you to have both ways, okay? Also, a big problem divided into smaller problems, but if you want to see the big problem by itself, you can export the program and have a large file being connected. So you get a comprehensive picture, enable effective decision-making, you have collaboration along the data, and you have a very easy tool to be used by all the people, all the team. We have, of course, tutorials, and we found out that organizations that replaced out-of-the-box relations with MasterLinks tend to have a higher and efficient way of having their status meeting and having their discussions regarding tasks and work packages in the program. So just let me summarize. MasterLink gives you full control, improved communication, and of course, assessment of the place that you need to be in your program. It enhances the performances of your project server using the database and not the actual approach from Microsoft. You get a real-time integrated analysis because since we allow you to accept and then roll back, it gives you the power to do what-if scenarios and have it in one consolidated view, seeing both sides and actually affecting the relations, the agreements between the two sides. And since this work process, you need to manage the work package and you need to have discussion logs in order to have the communication in your team. It improves the collaboration and teams find it very satisfying that they cannot just in fact influence the other project and then maybe don't remember or don't want to miss or don't want to open their files and find out that they are losing the connection with the actual reality of the project. So collaboration is being increased, and most of the team find it very, very helpful. If you want to get more information, you're more than welcome to contact us through our website or through me directly. If you want to have any questions, please, you could do it right now on our discussion page, or maybe our moderator will allow you to speak. I don't know how it works. It's been a pleasure for me to talk to you about our MasterLink and the way to improve program and project management. And I hope to see you in the next conference. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Irit, for your time. And as she mentioned, if anyone has any questions further, you can go to the discussion board and they'll be answered. Right. Thanks, everyone, for watching.